Thank you for choosing to watch my video on advanced chattering. My name is Bill Wright, and we're making this video in the Birtle Center for the Arts, located in Birtle, Manitoba, Canada. So welcome from Birtle, Manitoba, Canada. And today I'm going to start by using this chattering tool, this trimming tool that I've created to sharpen both sides, and I use the back for burnishing. This form that I used to make this bowl leaves a slight line on the inside between the different layers. So I'll start by trimming those out, and while I'm trimming this I'm going to use a shear cut. I'm going to start by letting the tool rub first on the back side, and then I'll tilt it until it starts to cut, and I'll do this at an angle, and then I can make a very fine cut. So with my tool, I'll stand over here so you can see it from the camera. My tool is located so it's going to take that line off at an angle, and I start by letting it rub first, and then as I bring this handle down, it brings the edge of the cutter in contact with the clay. And I can very quickly shear off the line. Once the lines are removed, I want to do the same thing on this edge. I want to take off the sharp corners that the form leaves. Now, if you draw a line across the bowl through the center of rotation, the clay at that point is going away from the cutter. If you try cutting on this side, it's going into the cutter, and any movement will make it go deeper, and it causes a catch and creates problems. And so we want to start where the clay turns and changes direction. And to do that, I want to have my tool scraping, in this case, just to lightly scrape off, and the same thing down here, just to scrape off. Now, once that's done, I put my finger on here to keep it steady, and I turn the cutting edge up so it doesn't cut, and I burnish the surface. And I'll go right on through, and we'll burnish the inside of the bowl as well. Get a better hold of this. Okay, I have the area where I want to chatter burnished. And I'll slow this down. And now I want to put some marks on the inside of the bowl with my straight nibbed chattering tool. This chattering tool that I've developed moves the part that makes the mark close to the fingers. So the artist has a lot easier job of controlling what it does. And I've also made it with the spring located here, a light spring, so it will chatter at slow speeds. It doesn't have to be going fast to make some amazing marks. Now if I look at the center line, the clay is going away from us, but if you're cutting, it's coming into the cutter on this side of center. It moves in towards the center. Here, it's moving away from the cutter. So if I stay on this side, my cutter will stay engaged with the clay longer when it swings away as a result of the fact that the clay has moving towards the cutter, and the cutter's over here. If I'm here, it's moving away from the cutter. So if it swings here, it leaves the clay. If it swings here, it stays on the surface and makes a longer mark. And so I want you to be able to see what's happening. So I'm going to come over here and make my center line here now. And so if I touch the clay at an angle there, if I touch the clay at an angle there. So if I change the angle there, then it will be making marks that continue to touch the surface. So I am going to start down here and then move up. And there we have some very nice marks that go all the way around. Now to set that off, I have created some line tools. Line tools are made out of nails. These happen to be two-headed nails. They're a little cooler. I like the feel of the two heads instead of one are supposed to be better anyway. So I'll start first of all with the pointed nail just to create a line. And then I'll use the next size nail to be able to make the line deeper. When I make the line, I'll move over here so you can see it in the camera, I don't go perpendicular, I lay it down so if there's any irregularity in the clay, my nail will ride along. So I will touch the clay about 3/8 of an inch from the edge. And when I have a line that goes all the way around, then I take the larger ended nail and that makes the line wider. And then I'm going to stop the wheel, double check where the design ends, and the design ends about 1.25 inches down. So I'll make the next start line about 1.25 inches down. So I start with this and I pull the bowl out of line just a bit. And I better stop and get the bowl tightened back up, figure out which way it moved. It can move that way. Okay, we'll try this and see. Nope, I'm off. And I will use my block of wood to determine exactly where I'm out of center with my bowl. So if I stick one of my tools underneath here, give myself something to guide from. Goes close, goes far away, goes close, goes far away, goes close, goes far away. And when I'm the furthest away, I move half of the distance that it's away closer to my depth gauge indicator. I tighten up my clay and I check again. While I was making that line, I jumped off the line just a little bit, and to hide it so no one will know, I take my burnishing tool and I just carefully burnish the surface where that occurred. And once I have that area burnished, it will have pushed the line back in slightly. So I take the same tool again, and I carefully again and you can hear by the sound of what it's doing how dry the clay is becoming. Alright, we've created now a bold line at the bottom of the design. We have some beautiful marks on top. Again, set off with another line at the top. We've burnished the surface of the bowl. We've burnished the edge. And we should be ready now to move in and take a final picture. Thank you for watching my video on advanced chattering. And with the trimming tool and a chattering tool, you can fairly quickly produce work that applies your artistic ability to your plots that you're already making, and the increased value that you will have as a result of the designs that you can create if you're artistic in nature. If God created you with artistic ability, you will pay for these tools very quickly. So thank you for watching.